All right, cool. So obviously we know what we're working on.
Yes.
What's his or her name?
His name is Rocco.
Rocco. When did it start?
Somewhere around 6, 7 months old. Like, I used to walk him every day in the park in town. There was somebody who constantly had their dog off leash, and I was always like yelling at the guy, tell him to contain his dog. The guy was a little crazy, so he started yelling back. I literally ran back to my car, and the guy was outside of my car, like screaming at me and cursing at me. Ever since that happened, he's been super reactive. So whenever I would go back to that park, I was always nervous. So I know a lot of it came from my own anxiety, but monster trucks going on.
It's crazy what's going on right now. I've never seen anything like this.
And then COVID hit. So we were home and we were just on my own property for many, many months. So now that everything's opening back up and I try and get out with him, everything is something to be wary of with him, you know?
Is this a joke? Am I getting punked right now? You couldn't make more noise right now. Let me see where you're at with your healing exercises. So I want you to just walk him around here. Get some, the helicopters will probably be coming over here in a second. Yep. Just more noise. Jeez. Just come back towards me. So just keep walking. I wouldn't, don't even say anything right now because it's not working. So let's just talk about your relationship, because all of this is going to be allocated from your relationship with him. Don't let him in front of you is the first thing. So if I'm talking to you, he's in between us.
Right.
That's a problem. So take a couple steps towards me and stop. Now talk to me. Good. This is how you should be talking to people. So don't let him get in between you and another person, because that's what's going to create reaction. Like when we do protection work or police work, right? We put the dog here and we're like, hey, that's the bad guy. Right. That's basically what you're doing there if you're allowing him to be in front of you. The biggest problem here is your relationship with him. His biggest hurdle is you. Your biggest hurdle is you, which is normal, as you know. I could take him right now and walk him around and he'd be fine. We wouldn't have any problems. The problem is going to be when you have him and I do anything he perceives as a threat. So it's insecurity, it's vulnerability, it's lack of control, it's lack of confidence, it's all these things coming into one. The prong collar is a little loose. That's a 3.0 gauge. Right. I like using 2.25s, especially if you have the safety clip. Because right now the prong collar is sitting right above the flat collar, which is not ideal. But that's gonna give you more power steering. So when you're actually giving him that correction for lunging and you're giving that correction for anything, it's gonna be more precision based. Where before, you were correcting him over and over and over and over again, and he's like, he just didn't care. So when we talk about leash reactivity, we talk about two things making a reaction. Coca-Cola, Mentos. Separately, that's all they are. Together, there's a reaction. Yeah. So without you, and you without him, and him without you, a dog and a human being. Together, reaction. But our job is to make sure for him, because he's a sweet dog, obviously. So when he comes out and he sees somebody and he says, "Rrr," he's doing that because you're like, that's weird, because he's the sweetest dog ever, which tells you and everybody else around you that he's doing this for a reason. He's not doing it because he's a jerk. He's not doing it because he wants a piece of that person. He's doing it because of you. So say we look at it as a math equation. 5 out of 5, I'm doing that much structure. Right. But you're giving 15 points of love and affection and too much of that. You're still not breaking even. You almost want to break even with him, because it's, I mean, I don't have to explain like, what could happen if we don't do that. That's why you're here. Yes. That's what happens. Right. All right, I'm gonna give him back to you, and then I want to go inside and see how he does. Good. All right, now come back towards me and we'll do another handoff. He's checking me out. Checking me out, but I want you to see how your body. Yes. There you go. Straighten that out. Pretend like this is another person. So you guys are standing there, and I come up and I'm like, "Hey, which way is the bank?" And you're kind of angled like this,
Right.
you're like, oh, tell him, I don't know.
I'm always doing that because I'm always
Watching
him and getting ready in case he does something.
Exactly, but that's the point, is that's where it's building. So if I came up, and this is the equation, right?
Right.
And I came up, I'm like, hey, I want direction.
Right.
He's gonna give me direction. You're not.
You're right, because I'm not facing you.
Right. I'm not even gonna ask you.
Right.
I'm gonna ask him, because he's locked in on me.
Okay, I get that. So I definitely always look at him when I'm walking him, like I'm scanning for potential disasters waiting to happen. I'm in my head thinking if I see him change and start to lock in on something, like I want to try and get it before.
Right. Which is responsible,
Right.
but it's not logical.
Okay.
You want to be aware, but you don't want to be constantly making him feel like there's threats always. Because when you're walking with him and you take him out and you're walking and you're looking and scanning and looking and scanning and looking and scanning, like he knows what you're doing.
Okay.
So he's nervous, you're nervous.
Right.
So when you're out with him and you condition him that when you see a person or another dog, you get nervous, you're conditioning him that that dog and that person is not okay. All right, so now we got to look at like the bigger picture here. Not everybody is gonna say, okay, you know, I'm good with dogs, let me handle your dog. Okay, now he's not gonna react to me and give him back to you. Because the reality is, this is a you problem, not a him problem. So we have to work on you. So I want you to work on your healing, and I wanna see where you're at, and we're gonna tighten it up. All right, cool. So turn, heel. We're gonna get a distraction out. We're gonna go the next step. Okay, come back towards me, good. And stop. So correct him for that. So, yeah, so when he reacts, you can tell in what he's doing is he's saying, back off, back off, back off. That's all he's doing. Dogs who are actually aggressive, from the research and all of the studies and all of the things that I have done hands-on, don't make much noise. They just go. So with him, again, he's reacting. But your corrections, it doesn't matter if we're using a harness, a martingale, a prong collar, a plastic pinch collar, or an e-collar, your timing is huge. Good, now stop and sit.
Sit.
So,
I'm trying to get in front of him.
around and around we go. You told him to sit here, you walked all the way over here, now you're facing me, and he's facing the other way. It's like, what's going on? If you get a dog that is unsure about like, I don't know what to do, and you're like enabling and continuing to allow him to make these decisions where you're like, hey, do this. Oh, you wanna go over here? Okay, we can go over here then, that's fine. And then he's like, that's the problem. Every single little micro thing that you tell him to do that he just completely says, I don't give a shit, I'm gonna do what I want. That's what's creating that bigger picture of like, she doesn't know what she's doing. When he reacts, your job is to assertively say, that's not okay. This is okay, this is not okay. It's operant conditioning. It's science over and over and over again. B.F. Skinner, he reacts, leave it, bang, correction. Nope, not appropriate. Like he has a problem with your guidance and your leadership. So that right there of do this, nope, do this, do this, no, I don't want to, do this, fine. Like, if you can't get him to sit, how are you gonna get him to stop reacting? So when you're correcting him, try to snap it. Like, it's more about how fast you can do it. You're trying to say, hey, what are you doing? Leave it. So stop. For an example, right here when you pulled him away, you didn't correct him. If you're pulling him away, you're just setting him up for the next time to react again. Why don't you take that fake dog and just roll around with it for a second. Just walk right by. Sit. Good sit. Heel. Good. Okay, now walk by again. Heel. Good heel. Good heel. Good. Rocco, sit. Good sit. What a significant difference. It's not because, whoa, look at the fix. No, no, no. It's because he doesn't have a problem with being in my hands. He has a problem with being in your hands. The other thing is I'm handling the situation with a lot of clarity. Go that way and I'll come this way, and I want you to pay attention to me. Don't worry about this dog. This dog will listen. Heel. Good heel, Rocco. Good. So you see more inquisitive behavior here. He's sniffing. He's like, hey, I wonder what that is. So he has an opportunity to actually get over some of these things. Good, Rocco. Sit. Good sit. So again, it's not sit, 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 sit. It's heel, good heel, sit, good sit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk him out to the car with you because there's a dog right here. And I wanna just show you how I do it. Sit. Right? It's all just accountability. I'm not working wonders here. I'm not doing any magic tricks. I'm just holding him accountable, and I'm making him feel confident because he's got no reason to not be confident with me because I've handled him very a matter of fact thus far. Good job, buddy. Good job. All right, now let's have you do it. Good. So now I'm gonna get another real dog out and we're gonna see how we do with a real dog. Out. Okay, heel towards me again. Turn into him, cut him off. Good heel. Out. So just focus on your clarity and your communication. Don't let his potential reactivity cloudy what you're doing. Okay. Good. So see how he's decreasing his build? Left. Good. Out. So I'm gonna switch you over to a dog treat 280C. The reason why I'm doing that is because it takes away the skill set that you need to correct him on the leash. Because when you do on-leash corrections, it's kind of difficult to get the timing right, and he's strong and he's powerful. So I'm gonna have you hit a button. It goes, which is just to vibrate. And so when he reacts, you're gonna say, leave it. Good. Left. Good. 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 So good sit. Good. Good. Now heel him again.
Heel. Heel.
The main reason why a lot of dogs react, remember I talked about this earlier, is you're also changing what you're doing. Okay. So whatever we did privately without the dogs in the room was successful. Right. But you're changing what you're doing now. So before you said Rocco heel, right. You're not doing that anymore. Okay. You're heel, you're going, don't you dare in your voice.
Yeah, I am.
That tells him, don't I dare what? Okay, maybe I should. If dogs can detect cancer and high blood pressure, they know when you're nervous. So when you're walking around and everything changes, he's gonna take it out on the dog again. When this dog comes out, the person that's in charge gets weird about it. So don't change anything. There you go. So just stop, don't ask him to sit. Just hang out right there. Good. Yes. Leave it. So that's where your off comes in, right there. As soon as you get the, that's where you're like, no. See, I was on time and you weren't. So as soon as he got up to bark, I went, it de-escalated him immediately. You were late on that. But that's, again, that's what you're working on, is you gotta be on top of it.
So if I don't know that that's gonna happen and he reacts to something because I don't see it coming.
Right.
I can never be right as he's building because he's barking and lunging by the time he's already escalated.
Yep.
So how do I get behind it like you did?
I didn't get him before he reacted. I got him when he started to react.
Okay.
So I didn't correct him for huffing and puffing. I corrected him for the initial reaction. Like right when he went is when I went immediately. And you saw him come up, straight back down.
Right.
It's the first time he went right back down because I was on time before it got to that point. When you're doing this, you're listening for that reaction. You're holding your leash. Your leash is your communication to him. So you know what he's doing, how he's doing. So if he reacts, you don't make a big deal about it. I think a lot of people get kind of worked up. Just right when he starts to come up, you bring him right back down. And it's very simple. Whoa, what are you doing? What's the deal? There's no reason for him to be reacting like that. Good, much better.
Boy.
Cut back again. Yep. Good, come back again.
Yep.
Good.
Good heel.
Nice.
Good heel, Rocco. Good boy.
See how much he's looking at you? I like that. So the way that you handle him is going to change the way that he acts.